Welcome to the Infinite Life podcast. I'm your host, Katish Haberfield. This podcast is a journey of discovery as we learn how the soul evolves over various incarnations to understand all about the complexities of being a human being who has to bravely navigate viewing life as a non-dualistic struggle between good and evil through consciousness-raising experiences that test our valor. Welcome back to the Infinite Life podcast. I'm your host, Katish Haberfield, and you're in season 7, episode 6. And we are continuing on with the final session for Carey today. Now, this one is quite different because what we do in this session is we go to the life between lives realm, where we request a meeting with the Soul Council. Now, the Soul Council is a group of light beings, it varies in number and beings according to your soul. And the Soul Council help you decide who you're going to be in this lifetime, who your parents are, what your mission is. They help determine exit points for potentials of when you may die. So your life is mapped out at a high level, but you have free human will. So it depends upon how you interact as to which exit points you will take and which vision for your lifetime you will have. Now, Carey, the relevance for Carey here is that we wanted to understand the final things that could help free Carey's body from illness, disability, and weight. And we wanted to check any planned action on the soul for the reason maybe she planned to have these illnesses that would lead to disability. Maybe that's what her soul needed to understand or learn certain concepts. Also, in this session, we have a look at the link to ancestral healing that is required. So something that's happened to your ancestors that has made an impact on the DNA and how that carries through the bloodlines and through the DNA. And finally, we look for and release any other blockages to the emotional, physical, spiritual, and mental body by doing a scan again to releasing the final information. We ask then for Carey to be able to receive signs in her body now that she's going to be more in touch with her body when she needs to remember not to do certain things in terms of reaching her soul's potential for this incarnation, basically, which are all in tune to getting in tune with her intuition through her solar plexus and her gut instinct. So it covers quite a lot, and it's not a typical session, so I'll say no more and leave it there. Thank you to Carey for participating in this season. This is the last time you'll hear from Carey this year. So don't forget to share and rate this podcast so that people may experience Carey's sessions and learn from her experiences so that they can apply the concepts into their life. Don't forget to head to katish.com to book your own sessions if they resonate with you. Namaste. So float through the garden to the healing temple where you can sit or recline comfortably. Notice or create a crystal above you. Let this be a channel to send focused energy to your body. Imagine a blue color flowing to your throat and a purple color flowing to your forehead and third eye. Imagine you can float up and see your body reclining from the temple ceiling. Notice the physical form of the body and the energy form and color. Ask for or send whatever cleansing, healing, or strengthening energy you need to go beyond one body and into your soul's journey. Now we're going to invite the Archangels and your spirit guides to be with you. Today, the most powerful of beings are here to help you. Let your spirit guides know you are here to ask for their guidance, protection, and assistance, because you are ready to gain major insights in the between lives to help resolve your present life issues and spiritual issues and lessons that have played out over lifetimes with various souls. Now we ask to access the between lives to resolve issues, learn lessons, and be more at peace and present in the now. So, Katie, I want you to let me know which is the brightest energy of the main person who is here to help you today. Sorry?
Leo.
Leo. Okay, Leo. Thank you for coming today. Leo, we'd like to take Katie to visit the Soul Council, please. Are you willing to help us with this today?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Can you take Katie's hand and float her away off to the Soul Council? Now, Katie, this is a room that is very special and unique to you. And most likely, Leo will take you there and then wait outside the door. So just let me know when you arrive.
I'm at the door.
Okay. I want you to open the door and walk in. You will see a table, which you'll describe to me, and there will be a number of beings that are part of the Soul Council. What I want you to do is describe to me the shape of your table and count the number of beings who are there today.
It's a really long, like banquet size table. Really dark. I've seen this table before. And there are 13.
13. Okay. And I want you to look at the energy of these 13 beings, and one of them is going to chair the meeting today. I want you to scan across the energy of the 13 beings and find the one who is in charge today.
Okay.
Okay. And could you please describe this being?
He looks like a male
Mhm.
with long grey hair and a beard. Really long, really long.
Mhm.
And he's wearing really brightly coloured, like a deep violet cloak.
Mhm.
And he just feels really wise.
Okay. And we know that they have names that are non-pronounceable, but just for the purpose of today, how would this being like to be referred?
Juanagondra.
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 Okay, beautiful. Thank you, and I might not get it right, Juanagondra, for being here today. Now, Juanagondra, you are very present and aware with, say, Katie's journey as a soul through very many lifetimes. And the first thing that I would like to request today is I would like to take Katie back to the moment where you and the other members of the Soul Council helped her review her present body selection. So, Katie, you'll be taken to a scene where you can see the moment in time where you all chose the options for your present body, life, and circumstances. You were given some options of births to take. What were they? One is Carey, and then you'll be shown some others.
Julian Gomez.
Mhm. What do you know about this particular option?
Doesn't feel like an option.
Okay.
Feels dark and painful.
Okay.
No, I don't want that. Elijah Jerome.
Hmm?
No,
How does that one feel?
that feels like it just came up that he has to kill people.
Okay.
Like,
No
no,
worries.
no.
Mm,
Oh, I've got pain in my head. Oh,
it's okay. Relax into it. Just relax into it.
ah. Anything
Don't see anything else? Okay, so Katie was the third option. Okay. Now, I just want to, for one moment, get you to focus in on the option of Julian, which was dark and painful. Why was that dark and painful?
he has to go through too much death.
Hmm? Okay. Now, I want you to see Katie and see what resonated with Katie. What was the feeling when you saw Katie?
And it felt a bit lighter.
Mhm.
It felt a bit lighter eventually.
Okay.
It felt, yeah, I could go through those ups and downs and pain and suffering because there was quite a bit of excitement in that journey.
Okay. All right. And now I want you to, now that you've selected Katie, I want you to look at the options you were given for parents. And I want you to tell me why you chose the parents you chose.
Okay. They were quite opposite. Very different to each other.
Mhm.
So they brought in lots of different aspects. And they've been through a trauma before together,
Mhm.
losing a child before I chose to go in.
Mhm. And how is that advantageous?
Because I was already set up. I was already set up. It was already set up in motion that they'd want to keep me alive,
Mhm.
keep me safe,
Okay.
to enable my gifts.
Okay. And now in this planning phase, I would like you to see who are the soul group members that are around this table that you're planning to meet. Now, some you may know and some you won't know.
Planning to meet in this lifetime
Yep.
or next
This lifetime
round
is Katie.
table.
Yep. Now that you've chosen Katie and you chose the parents, the next thing that we do is you will make an agreement with certain people who are in your soul group
At this table.
at this table.
For them to come in as human.
To come in as human beings in your lifetime as Katie. There may be an animal there as well. If that's the first thing that you're seeing, that's fine.
I just saw Katish. Just show you.
Okay, lovely. You're not the first person today that's seen me, so that's fine. Now, don't
Alan's
block.
there. Alan's
Alan's.
there.
I thought Alan might be there. Okay. Now, what I want you to see is when we have a soul group, we have an essential small group of soul family who are like our primary soul family. And then we have extended, it's like if you imagine an amphitheater and there's just different layers of seating. So there's the immediate and then there's different layers. Where does Alan, and I want you to see the truth of this, where does Alan fit in the layers?
He feels like he fits in quite strongly in a big way.
Hmm. That's what I thought.
There's a really important reason for him to be there.
Okay. So, what I want you to have a look at is you'll get a preview of key events that were potentials for Katie. These weren't guaranteed. It's like you have a spreadsheet or a diagram where you're like, option A is this way, option B is this way, option C is this way. So these are key decision moments in your life. So let me know about a couple of these key decision moments or events that your soul mapped out that could potentially occur for you in this lifetime.
Moving forwards from now,
No,
or
from
from the
birth,
beginning.
from the beginning. These were mapped out moments where Katie had choices that she could make that may never eventuate, but they were possibilities because you have free will when you enter the body of Katie. So, what key decision points did your soul set up that she could have possibly made?
Okay, when she met the man she married, she could have not done that.
Okay.
Could have followed her dream of acting, but there was another option where she could build a family, and she wanted to build a family. That was
Okay.
part of her. That was part of her. The right way forward, the way, out of the two choices, that she was meant to be a mother.
Okay. All right. What's another example of a key event that she didn't choose? That's not the one that you just mentioned, a different decision point.
Later, she didn't choose to stay with that first husband. She chose to move on and leave.
Okay. All right. And let's just move away from this husband, but there are other completely other, totally different options that you haven't that you possibly couldn't even imagine. Like a sliding doors moment.
My humanness is stopping me from making a different choice because the children wouldn't be here now, and I'm too
Yeah, that's all
too
right. So
attached
you need to
because it
step
wouldn't
back.
happen.
Yep. But so you didn't make this choice. So let's just see a different choice that would have totally changed your life. You're not to judge it. It's just simply interesting to find out the different options that your soul had laid out.
Okay, it's taken me to a time when I was 17 and felt suicidal.
Mhm.
There was a choice there to not be here anymore.
Yeah. So this is an exit point.
But I
Okay.
didn't
So
take
you didn't take that one. Okay. And what I want to check is when you were mapping out this lifetime on a very high level, Katie, very high level, there would have been some options as to what this lifetime could mean for your soul's development. And there could have been a couple of possible outcomes at a high level. What were the outcomes for this lifetime that your soul provided? These outcomes may be inconceivable.
So much enlightenment that I don't need to come back here.
Hmm? Just like you to have your higher self just step in for a moment and cast some light onto that. Is that just a cop out?
Yeah, I can just see light and more light and no words.
Okay. Let's go behind the feeling of that I didn't need to come back.
Okay, because I've been back so many times
Hmm?
and had such vast experience of different endings that this was the last time I would need to do it if I took this lifetime.
Okay, we might need to get some clarity on that because my understanding is that the cycle continues and we can choose to rebirth the entire soul, but generally souls continue to go back on just in different dimensions. They can choose to reduce their wisdom back to a zero state, so they appear as a new soul.
I think it's this soul wants to go to another planet.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just being very clear on that because there is a large spiritual misconception that you can have a last incarnation. I wanted to get the truth of that for you so you realize that there are different dimensions and different planets to incarnate on. Yeah? Do you see that distinction now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what was the second outcome potentially for this lifetime that your soul had set up?
That it would have a ripple effect on a lot of humans around me.
Hmm. And in what area? Do you mean as a teacher, an author, a healer, a mover of a leader? Mhm. And can you see a vision of what that would be like a snapshot of accomplishments.
Poetry that touches the heart of millions.
Mhm. And is poetry the main vehicle, or was there
Words. Words.
words? Okay. So what was the third option?
Hmm. Quite negative and giving up and dying quietly.
Okay. Now, what I want to focus on is what's the difference in feeling. Well, let me check first. Was there a fourth?
Sorry, was there
Fourth.
four?
Because they're two extremes.
There was the death there's a death at 17. There was a death at 52. No longer life into really old age.
Okay. How old?
93.
93. How old are you now?
55.
Okay. All right. And in terms of, we have the need never to come back again to Earth, to move on to a different planet or dimension. And we need to understand the difference between that and the one where you make a huge impact on humanity through words. What's the difference in feeling to you? I'm not trying to say one is better than the other. What's the difference in appeal and feeling for you?
It feels like more potential for growth.
Excuse me, which one?
Feel the words.
The words more potential for growth? Okay.
Potential for growth and cause and effect. More potential to impact humanity in a positive way.
Okay. And what I want you to see is I want you to take a look at this one with the rippling effect. In this lifetime, if you chose that option, what main spiritual lessons do you still need to make progress with in order to achieve that outcome?
More acceptance and deeper love
Deeper love of self?
of the self, yeah. Deeper love of the self.
Okay. Now, I want you to look deeper into that. And let's see where you have progressed so far in your life as Katie with lessons that you have ticked off to do with a deeper love of the self. Let's have a look at your progress.
So there was progress. From the moment of the choice to stop medications,
Mhm.
the moment of the choice to end a relationship, the moment of the choice to follow intuition and create,
Mhm.
the choice to love myself more for 2 years,
Mhm.
and then the choice to allow someone else in.
Mhm.
The
Okay.
choice to put things out into the world even when they're not perfect.
Mhm.
And that's where I am now.
Okay. So what we want to have a look at is your higher self has got some things to point out to you in regards to what is holding you back currently from self-love. What needs to be overcome?
Self-sabotage.
Mhm. In what way?
Not always hearing what my body needs.
Mhm. Now, here I have a really important question for you, Katie. I want you to take the higher perspective, which is a non-emotional perspective. Okay? Was Katie's series of illnesses and her current bodily issues part of the plan?
Yes,
Okay. And what lessons were they to teach you?
I had to slow down and accept and lean back from control.
Hmm? And sorry?
And to help others.
Yep. So we get a big tick, I would think, for the helping others. Now, how are we faring in the report card on slowing down?
I'm still stuck with the guilt when I do slow down.
Yeah. Okay.
Feeling like I'm being lazy.
Okay. So who owns that? Where does that come from across your soul's journey? What's the root cause of feeling
Childhood,
like
childhood programming. Oh, pardon me.
it's all right, you're releasing energy, that's fine. It's good. Is there any other incarnations in Katie's soul that are responsible for this as well?
ancestors. It's an ancestral pattern.
Okay.
Goes back
Ancestral.
forever.
Okay. So what we want to do there is to have a look at this ancestral pattern because you chose a specific set of parents who came with this ancestral pattern.
Yeah.
Okay. So why do they have this ancestral pattern? Where's the root event in this line? I know you can just whiz all the way back to the root one. The very first person in that ancestral pattern who had this. Who is it?
John 3,000 years ago came up.
John 3,000 years ago. Okay. Okay. And can you see what is the residue? Mental, emotional, physical, or attachment?
Emotional.
Emotional. Okay. And why emotional? What happened to John?
He was killed,
Hmm.
beaten,
Okay.
tortured for not working hard enough.
Okay. And where does this emotional residue reside in Katie's body?
In the lower back
Okay.
and on the shoulders.
Okay. So I want you to imagine you have a flashlight or a lightsaber or some kind of device that your mind can imagine. And I want you to look at these points. What can you do to release them out of your body or to witness or to hear them or to shift this?
I can just breathe it out.
Perfect. Because, Katie, when you breathe it out, you breathe it out for every single other ancestor. That was a big one.
Okay.
Beautiful. Well done.
Just
So,
told that the rest of that is going to come out in bodily
okay.
fluids.
Mhm. Perfect. Well done. So, you've now freed yourself and your ancestors from this emotional residue. Well done. Now, I'm just referring to my notes for just one moment. So, we've cleared, slowed down from an ancestral level. I now want to look at where in either Katie's soul counterparts' lifetimes, Katie's ancestral life lineage, there is the inability to accept and lean back from control.
Finances.
Excuse me, just moving some energy. And could you tell me about this, please? Shine a torch on it, get some clarity.
There's still some emotion lingering around the lack of safety around.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, we know it's a big one for you. All right. So, what can you do to release that completely? We're talking at 100% level today. It's time to remove it completely.
Let's just suck that out
Okay.
with a magical vacuum.
Okay. So, as you suck it out with a vacuum, Katie, I'm going to invite Archangel Raphael to immediately put the green ray in there. And he will already be working on the shoulders and the lower back
And
as
this
well.
authorizes it's in the gut area.
Mhm. Um,
And I've got a feeling to put that into Mother Earth,
Great, perfect.
release that into the ground.
Okay, perfect. And whilst you're doing that, I want you to check. In your lifetime with Venro, you had an asteroid hit your abdomen, and we did what we thought was complete for healing that. Is there any residue that's left that needs to be removed today?
Yes. Around in the rib cage.
Okay. And how shall we do that?
It can just be liquidated. Like
Liquidized? Okay. So please do that now. And again, as you liquidize this, Archangel Raphael will be shining the green ray in there.
yeah, I can feel it dispersing through my intestines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's release.
Okay. Now, what we want to check is there any blockages in the soul blueprint from this lifetime or others or ancestral about helping others? Anything where we are self sabotaging or limiting Katie's ability to help others?
Not being visible enough.
Hmm? You all right?
Uh, Needing to prioritize a clear channel more frequently. It's been not as open for receiving the poetry.
Okay, can we make sure that when Katie is receiving this poetry that she's only receiving it from the higher self?
Yes,
Perfect. Does Katie understand the dangers inherent in channeling other beings that are not her higher self?
yeah.
Thank you. All right. And is there this not being visible enough? Where does this come in?
Fear.
What's
Um, Fear of the haters.
Fear of the haters. Okay.
This
All
is
right. Where,
this is an experience in this lifetime
okay.
when she was on TV.
Ah, okay.
So there's an element of there's still an element of what people think about her.
Okay. And can her higher self give advice about this?
I just had to embody your own words.
Okay. Now, embody contains the word body. So, where is your worth contained in your body?
Oh, it was embody your own words.
And words. Okay.
It said worth. Yeah, words.
Words. Okay. So, is that throat chakra? Throat.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's
I've
blocking
got
your
a
throat?
frog, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, what is blocking your throat? I want you to investigate your throat right now.
Yeah.
Okay. But we need to dig deeper than just fear. What's behind the fear? What experience?
Fear of being taken down. Fear of being. Fear of. Fear of reaching the height that I'll be taken down from.
Okay. And who actually owns this fear?
Eddie.
Eddie.
My dad.
Okay. I thought we'd met Eddie last week. Yes. Okay. So, Eddie, take that back, please.
Okay, that was his human fear.
Okay.
Yeah, he was critical because I had to always be perfect
Hmm.
because he was scared of what other people thought.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because whenever I was on stage and he was with me, he'd criticise me after to bring me back down to earth. Keep my
There are the
feet
words.
firmly on the ground.
Hmm.
To not get too big for my own boots.
Hmm.
To not forget where I come from.
Ooh.
Yeah. Remember, you're one of us, not one of them.
Okay.
He hates wealthy people.
Ooh.
Or did. Yeah.
Okay. Are we ready to release those? Was a big one.
He's just told me he's helping me to cut those
Great.
cords.
Perfect.
And he said, oops.
I like Eddie. He's got a sense of humor in the afterlife.
He was quite funny, actually. There was a lighter side to him.
Now, can you ask Eddie where he fits into your soul group, soul family, extended soul group, outreaching? It's no judgment on him. We're just wondering where.
He said he's been here forever.
Okay.
And he continues to be in the future.
Okay.
Time
So is he part of your inner soul group?
he's on the table. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So, Katie, I want you to understand very clearly that if somebody is in your inner soul group, that they take on a contract to help you no matter what. Okay? To their detriment in order to create change in you. Good
Yeah,
girl.
he
That's the
died.
way.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
Well
he
done.
died for that. He's just
Yeah.
told me.
Yep. Okay. So we can understand that in each lifetime we may have particular emotion to the character that they played. But I want you to take a look at Eddie now as an energetic being, not as Eddie. Eddie, take off your costume.
Okay.
How does he display himself in a color and energy? I want you to
It's
see
a
his
very tall, bright white light.
tall, bright white light. Okay. So, what I invite you to do, Katie, is whenever you think of Eddie now, I want you
Can I
to
ask a question? Can I ask?
go for your life. Yes, please ask a question.
Are you my son, Matt? Because I have got this thing,
Yep.
this belief that he is my son. Yeah, he said yes.
Okay. So that's a particularly important role to take on two roles within one incarnation of Katie's. Why has he chosen? And obviously we can edit. Oh, I just saw an orb go past radio. Why has he chosen to incarnate twice in your lifetime? What is the contract? Why is that so important?
It's actually more important for my future generation,
Future.
for my
Okay.
children and my grandchildren and
Mhm.
their children.
Okay.
And Matt has come in as the wise one.
Ah, okay.
Since he was a little boy,
Yep.
and there were synchronicities around the timing of Eddie's death and the birth of Matt.
Okay.
Like literally, he was conceived straight after
Okay.
and was born on their wedding anniversary on
Okay.
Friday the 13th.
Yes, we know dates are very significant for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else that you wish to ask Eddie?
The question that came in was, does this get any easier?
Well, if he's the wise one now, I guess he's there to help make it easier.
He just said it's all easy. Okay, because you're not the body.
Yeah. Okay. So I would like Eddie, if he's okay now that we've released that. Does Eddie have anything else that needs to be removed from the incarnation of Eddie? Otherwise, I want to move on to Alan.
No, move on. Move on.
Okay. Thank you, Eddie. All right. I want you to move on to Alan, please. Okay. So, what I want to ask, and again, we can edit this out. What is the general theme of Alan's choice to come in this incarnation?
Okay, to be the support and strength I've never had in a relationship with Alan.
Mhm.
there's a
Mutual growth.
way. We've both got different, come in with different spiritual perspectives that are good for both of us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And have the two of you had a recent incarnation together where there are things that are residual emotions or thoughts that need to be overcome, forgiven in order for your relationship in this incarnation to go where you want it to go or to be the most harmonious possible?
No, I can't see anything.
Okay. And if you take off the costume of Alan, spiritually, how does he present to you?
With another huge light being, but with reds and blues and
Mhm.
purple. It feels powerful and strong.
And does the light being that isn't owning the persona of Alan for this second have any higher wisdom for you?
I'd lean back and let him lead.
Okay. That'll be
Ooh.
interesting. Oh, okay. We've got to accept and lean back from control.
Yeah, that's why, isn't it?
So, Katie, stop trying to be the lead in the dancing of the partnership. Now, Katie. Just lost my train of thought. Just okay, there's something else that needs to come through about that.
Oh, I've got really stiff neck then. Okay.
What else needs to come through? Oh, that's what it is. Is there anything blocking you in this moment that we can remove that is presenting in your body that's going to resist leaning back and letting him lead?
A bit more of a wall on the heart.
And what can we do about that?
Let it melt away.
All right. Let it melt.
Lean into trust that this is all a way bigger perspective than I can see.
Mhm. And let me know when that's complete.
Look at the beauty. Ah, yeah. That's
Okay.
gone.
All right. Now, in order for Katie to become somebody who does have this ripple on humanity, there's something that I have observed, and I can see and feel Archangel Michael and Zadkiel on the side here, so they will tell me to shut up if it's necessary. But There seems to be a tendency for Katie to idolize spiritual leaders over her own inner wisdom and higher self. Can we gain some insight into that, please? If Katie wishes as a soul to step into a humanity wide spiritual leadership, what insight does she need to have?
Yeah, take people off of a pedestal or put yourself on it alongside them. You're all equal.
Mhm.
It's just as easy for Katie as it is for anyone else.
Mhm.
And she has as much, if not more, knowledge to share
Mhm.
that's needed to be heard.
Okay. And again, the recording can be cut here. Is there any other advice in relation to this?
Don't be scared to ask for help.
Mhm.
Don't be don't make people so important that they're too important to help. And listen to your emotional authority.
Mhm.
Don't be the maverick all the time.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's wiser to wait
Okay.
and trust in what's been placed in front of you.
Okay. And one of the other observation I have is that Katie is a keen student. She loves to learn and she's always doing courses and things like that. However, if she's to achieve this vision of tapping into and becoming the higher self, what advice does the higher self have about all this learning?
Trust when you've already learned enough. Spend more time in creation than spend more time in creation, conceiving.
Mhm.
You don't need to know it all.
Okay.
In fact, more than enough already.
Mhm.
Trust yourself more deeply.
Mhm.
Not everyone is who they present themselves as.
Mm. And that is the particular thing that I wanted to lean into now. And again, recording can be cut.
Balance the energies more.
Okay, you just very nicely avoided that not everyone is who they present themselves to be.
That was sometimes you get too excited about some people who are not who they present themselves to be
Okay, all right.
because you think they've got the missing piece. It's like a
Okay.
jigsaw.
Okay.
Isn't out there, it's inside of you.
Okay. So, what I want your higher self to do now is to show you the energy, which will be like an alarm bell when you are tending to lean that way again. Meaning, where you are seeking advice or learning or healing or whatever from those who are not presenting who they are meant to be, so that you to step back.
Oh, there's like a real vacuum in my stomach, and it went really tight. And then it was weird. I've not had a
Mhm.
sensation like that before, so I think I remember it.
Okay. All right, Katie. So I just want to reassure yourself that your ego, your personality mind may have difficulty with that, but you, from this
Okay.
point forward, you're going to trust that you're welcome, that vacuum in the stomach, okay, above all else. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Okay. Now, what I would like to do next is I would just like to do a final body scan, please. And so I just want you to relax and allow Archangel Raphael, Michael, Zadkiel to come in and do a body scan. I just want to remove any energy that doesn't belong there. I want to restore the body to full health, the full possibility that the soul has laid out for this lifetime, knowing that Carey has free will. She can choose whatever, but please allow the scan to happen and let me know if there's anything else that needs to be removed. Any final thing that is weighing her down, the mental body, the emotional body, the physical body, the spiritual body.
The knees.
Okay. It's in the knees.
Just like been shown a golden rod just to push through
Mm-hmm.
the knees side to side.
Okay.
And then through the ankles as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Now, for the very last few moments, I would just like Katie to reconnect with the vision of herself as completely healed, completely mobile and in perfect health, complete ideal for her in this lifetime, even more healed than she could ever imagine. So to see that final vision that involves no mobility devices, not even a cane. Perfect mobility.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, and I want you to lock in the feeling. And I would like and invite the higher self to encode in future dreams and waking moments through signs any choice points that Katie may come up in the future that will accelerate her ability to manifest this full body healing.
A whistle in my left ear.
Hmm?
A whistle in my left ear.
Hmm?
Just telling me to, as soon as I hear that, to lock in that feeling, remind myself of that moment.
Uh-huh. All right. So just touching base with your higher self and with Leo. Is there anything else that we need to cover in this session today?
No, all good.